Voices. We're going to turn right now, though, to Niagara County and potential new problems for a restaurateur who has a bunch of establishments on both sides of the border. Canadian Mohammed Shoab now owns nearly 24 eateries, including the relatively new Moe's Southwest Grill and the A&W restaurant, both of them there on Rainbow Boulevard, and also the nearby Papa John's Pizza, in addition to a bunch of other places, including over in Ontario. Well, Investigative Post is out with some new reporting that Mr. Shoab faces allegations of wage theft. From the article, it says, quote, Investigative Post spoke to a dozen current and former employees of Shoab's restaurants. 9 of them said they believe they were cheated out of pay. Shoemaker is a reporter with Investigative Post who spent a lot of time working on this. When you talk to that many people, I should mention on the record, they gave you their names, they told you the full story. What is sort of the highlight in what you found here and the reaction from the owner?
Yeah, so what we're dealing with here is we've got a fella, a fast food franchisee who's, like you said, has restaurants in Ontario and all over Niagara Falls, Niagara County. He was subsidized by the Niagara County IDA 2 years ago. He got $434,000 in tax breaks and grants from the IDA back then to open the Moe's and the A&W. And we were contacted by somebody who worked there who said they had some serious concerns with how Mr. Shoab was running his operation. Talked to a lot more people, and it turns out that folks there believe they were cheated out of thousands of dollars in hard-earned wages. We're talking people who were working, dozens of hours of overtime every single week, who were not getting paid an overtime rate. Managers who were working dozens of hours of, over 40, and they were getting paid under the state minimum for managers in that position, as well as people not getting their tips. Customers would go to these restaurants and leave a tip with a credit card. We're all familiar with the little POS system that you leave a tip on the credit card. Employees working there were not getting those tips.
And again, these folks went on the record telling you that this happened. I know through a representative, Mr. Shoab declined this, but he didn't answer your specific questions. What happens next in terms of filing complaints and investigations and all that sort of stuff?
Since we published the story, I've heard from at least one former employee who said he filed a complaint with the Labor Department. Other employees have said they too have filed complaints with the Labor Department. We're starting to see a little bit of movement. We might see maybe some response from the IDA. Mr. Shoab is going back to the IDA next month to ask for more tax breaks for more fast food restaurants. The IDA did not comment for this story, although they are aware of my reporting, and they will have a big decision to make now.
Before I run out of time, you've been on this story for a while, right? Because there has been controversy surrounding these subsidies from the very beginning. And we should point out, Mr. Shoab owns a bunch of businesses, has hired a lot of people, has contributed obviously to the economy there, but there has been controversy with getting some of these tax breaks for these projects.
Yeah, so when he went before the IDA 2 years ago, it became controversial because people, I think, rightfully asked the question, why does a fast food restaurant need tax breaks? The IDA argued at that point that the downtown Niagara Falls was quote unquote highly distressed and they needed the jobs and they needed the investment. He then invested the money, created those jobs, and we're now finding out that the people who got those jobs are allegedly getting cheated out of money. At the time, you had State Senator Sean Ryan, Assemblymember John Rivera, as well as a local city council member in Niagara Falls, all speak out against this. That did not deter the IDA. They went ahead and gave Mr. Shoab the money, and now, like I said, they've got a big decision ahead of them to see if they will again subsidize fast food restaurants in Niagara Falls.
All right, we'll continue to follow that. I encourage everybody to go to investigativepost.org and read Dale's full story there. Thanks for coming in. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.